All right. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hey, hey, hey. It's Pix. All right. So today is Friday, and that means that the arena has changed. So now it is random 30. And I also have my turn here with Texan, which I've just kind of been meandering along this game. How's it going, Cash? Just kind of taking my turn every stream with Texan here. But that's fine. Maybe we'll get through this. I'm not sure. I think we're very, very close to finishing this draft here. How's it going? Dancing through life? Yeah, pretty much, It's more been, hanging out, not doing too much because, the virus has people staying inside a lot, but on the flip side, it's actually been, not too bad. Just, it's a different change of pace, and honestly, I just like streaming, so I'm glad to be doing this. Playing some Epic. Yeah, exactly. It's a mocking lurch. All right, so I am just going to get into it. Now, I've heard that apparently there has been some trouble getting importing decks, and I have a spreadsheet with some of the decks that I've been making on stream here, so I'm just going to repost it in. But basically, see if this is the right. Let me make sure this is the right link. But basically, I have modified the deck list, so now you should be able to copy them directly from the import code, and I've tested out a couple of them. So if anyone is having any difficulties, then they can let me know. All right. Anyway, in the meantime, I haven't yet added the Ragnarok decks in, so I'll probably put this wild one in, since I think that the first Ragnarok deck was kind of a failure. But we'll see how it goes. I like this wild one. This wild one has potential. I'm very excited to tweak this one. I really like Frantic Taking. It's probably one of my favorite cards. So I'm ready to... Yeah, it's the same link, yeah. I mean, it might be technically a different link, but it goes to the same source. It doesn't really matter which version you use. Alright, so let's see if the Texan is online. I'm going to take a turn here. We're actually on last pick, or not last pick, there's one more pack. But this is the super heavy evil deck that I thought was amazing. I mean, I think this pack's actually pretty straightforward. I think Sea Titan is clearly the best card in this pack. It's just the card that requires the least amount of synergy. So Jungle Queen and Drinker of Blood really require a lot of setup. You don't want to just play Drinker of Blood in a deck that doesn't have Flash Fire, Wither type of cards. And I do have some break all effects. I have Apocalypse. I guess that's it. Ranrack's Displeasure. But I don't have Flash Fire or Wither, and I don't have Zombie Apocalypse, so I don't think I'm going to pick up the Drinker of Blood. Saren is reasonable. You can see if I look at my Punishers here. So what cards do I have that are Punishers in my deck? And honestly, I don't really have any, except maybe Succubus, so I will be taking the Saren here. Jungle Queen is okay. I don't really like taking this card without other wild cards, but it is very scary in Dark Draft, because your opponent doesn't know if you're going to toss a wild card, just a T-Rex or something, or a Triceratops on their turn. So I'm going to take both of these. Saren also works well with our Break All effects, which we have 2 of, because it's unbreakable on your turn. So you can even attack with this when your opponent has an expended champion out, and then they play something which makes, maybe a 0-cost champion to block. You can Break All to get rid of the 0-cost champion and their expended champions, and this stays out and attacking. So really, I think this card shines especially in decks that are lacking Punishers in Dark Draft. Alright, so from here, I think it's definitely going to be a Watchful Gargoyle. I don't have enough cards to make Nova Unicorn work, and both these cards are more situational. And because I only have the one cost good card, I think it's going to be Watchful Gargoyle over Priestess Evangeline. Alright. Now, I don't I don't expect the Texan to be on because the Texan wasn't on the last 2 times. But I will swing around back to this in a little bit and see if they're back. So let's see. There is the arena to do. I did just see someone in there right now, so I will play at least one game. That work? Not sure. Oh, I had to. The first one was starting my run. The second click was joining. And we'll see if I get a game pretty quickly, then I'll play random 30. Otherwise, I'll probably just try and play some constructed. All right, I'm up against Escopeta. Yeah. Nice. That sounds great. I should just do it. Let's just bring a bottle of wine on stream here. Alright, the opponent is going first. We've actually got a great hand here. I'm going to toss a Thunderous, but honestly, this card's much better in random 30 than most formats because your opponent is very unlikely to have an answer to it. That being said, this hand just looks amazing. I have Kong and Sea Titan are high quality cards. I want them in most hands in random 30. Juggernaut is great, and it's a Punisher, but it also has Loyalty 2 in hand right now. And this Crystal Golem is exactly what else we need, which is a draw 2. So in general, in random 30, I want to have at least one draw 2, a way to spend my gold on the current turn and the next turn. If it's your turn, and you don't have a way to spend it on your turn, that's fine, you can just pass. But you do need something to do on your opponent's turn if they decide to spend their gold. And so I would just say this hand's fantastic as far as random 30 goes. Yeah, exactly. You think it's water, but I mean, you can't see inside of it. Maybe I'm just drinking vodka straight. All right. So basically, all right, they're almost definitely going to do something, and they did. It's actually a question of whether I play Plague Zombies here, just because that way I definitely have loyalty for Juggernaut, but I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to play this. I will go ahead and start my turn before breaking it to draw 2 cards. This is in case they have a Blitz Champion. I'm probably not going to attack with it. I don't really get any benefit out of attacking with it, because I want to draw the 2 cards right away. I want to see if I can get loyalty for this Juggernaut. I didn't get loyalty, so that means I'm probably going to play White Knight here. Could also play Kong, but I want to draw a card because I don't have anything to do on my opponent's turn in this hand. So I will go ahead and play White Knight, drawing a card, and then I'll be passing. It's actually Kerosene. Oh man. So, for example, this is actually a bad scenario here. So, in the 4 cards that I drew, I didn't actually find a way to spend my gold. I mean, I have Plague Zombies. Not very happy to be playing Plague Zombies on my opponent's turn, but I might be forced to do that. I guess I'll just hold on to Para so I can play it. I don't know. It's nothing that special. I could have played it before White Knight, but if I drew another good card here, I could banish. I could break one of these zombies or attack for 9. So I didn't play it, but I'm just gonna pass. If Escopeta, I hope I'm saying that right, 666 here gets rid of my White Knight somehow, then Plague Zombies becomes a lot better because it will trade with one of the demons. It will and then it will block the 3rd demon, and also the 2 damage can be I can finish off the champion Flame Spike. That's interesting. Well, I'm just going to take these attacks for 4. Not really sure. Maybe they're just trying to get in, but I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to be tricked. I'm thinking maybe they have a Blitz Champion in their hand. This play would make a lot of sense. If I was them and I had a Blitz Champion, just a big Blitz Champion, like Rampaging Worm or Avenging Angel, I'd make that play. Alright, this is great. because I don't have a good way to spend my gold. So this is actually fantastic. And I could either get rid of a demon by using the ability or attack. I'm gonna attack. I might just end up playing Time Walker anyway. So this is a good time to play Time Walker. Yeah, the pronunciation. There's just something about pronunciation with me that I just sit there and try and pronounce. All right, they're gonna play Demon Breach. Now, Time Walker is actually a really good counter to tokens, because when you return all champions to their owner's hands, the tokens just die. They don't get anything back for them. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Time Walker here, reveal these two other Sage cards. This White Knight will go back to our hand. And I'm going to go ahead and play this Peros, since there isn't really, all of these other cards are pretty nice in my hand. And if our opponent, usually you want to have more than one thing in play. I guess what I'm saying is, if you have one thing, then it's easy to remove it and then get ahead if they play something like a Kong or a Palace Guard. When I have 3 or more things, I'll usually not try to add anything else to the board, but if you have 2 or 3 things out, then in order for them to clear your board, they would need to basically play a clear effect like Apocalypse or Angel of Death. We'll be taking 3 here. Now the funny thing about Peros is this one is not like most other buffing cards in Good. Most of them only give your good champions plus offense. But Peros gives all of your humans plus 1 offense. And Time Walker is a human, so it'll be there for 11. Alright. We are just going to go ahead and play this. Well, I'm going to play this Flame Spike first and try and recycle into a real play. Oh wait, I don't have any. Never mind. It's a good thing I can cancel that. I guess I'll just hold on to the Flame Spike then. This Plague Zombies is pretty weak, but this basically costs 0 for me, because if I'm doing it right now, because the gold would be wasted anyway, so I might as well just play it. This effect for 0 is pretty good, 3 zombies for 0. So I am just going to go ahead and attack with Time Walker here. I could see Titan or Kong that, but usually when I see a good trade, I'll try to get my opponent to react. Because if I can get in for 6 here, that actually puts me in a very good spot. I can play Juggernaut and attack for another 9. That'll be 15. Alright, they're going to play Flash Fire. I would actually block first and let the combat resolve. Oh, they're going to play Watchful Gargoyle, that's why. Alright. So in this case, it's much better than me having played Kong first, because that way they can't play around what I'm doing. Because Watchful Gargoyle is going to block here. They might have done a different play if I had just Konged this and then attacked. Now I could definitely be greedy and use this Juggernaut to get in for 9, but I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of this War Machine, so I'm going to go ahead and play this Kong. And then I'll be able to follow up with Temporal Enforcer on their turn. So we actually have a sizable board here. This is 23, so we're practically at lethal. If they take this damage, then we probably just win. It's very hard to survive from 4 health. And even in random 30, card advantage is a really big thing. But you can still just lose to being raced down, because you're going to have less efficient answers in random 30. Oh, you're right. I turned it off last time and I keep forgetting. Alright. It's fine. I'm back. Alright. I remember last time someone said something like, "What is that white noise?" You have this static coming through, and it was just the AC was on. All right. Xanos. Zombie Apocalypse. This card's important to know about. So here... I'm going to Flame Spike a zombie token, because I'm going to do that anyway on my turn, so I might as well see what I get off the top here. Courageous Soul. I'm going to play Temporal Enforcer, reveal both of these. Now the real question is which one to bounce. I think I'm going to bounce the zombie token. In this case, I think that the card advantage that my opponent gets from getting that back is relevant. And actually, none of the... there's nothing this can block that would be better than blocking with the zombie token, because Temporal Enforcer is unblockable, and then both of these are too big. So what I'm just doing is, I mean, they're just going to play Zombie Apocalypse, but I am going to go ahead and force them to use it here, and then just get in with the Juggernaut for 9. I'll attack with the Courageous Soul first. This will give all of my other champions +2 attack. And there's no real way to block this. I mean, if Xanos blocks there, then they just take this much damage, so... Escopeta is definitely going to play Zombie Apocalypse here and just break everything. I will lose to Wither, though, because they have Drinker of Blood in hand. So they've already played Flashfire. It's actually on the bottom of their deck. If they have a Wither in hand, I just lose, for sure. Alright, here comes the Zombie Apocalypse. I think that hesitation means that they don't have any other draw twos in their hand. But they have to do it there. There's no way for them not to do that. Alright, and I'm just going to go ahead and play this Juggernaut. This will probably just deal 9 damage to them. I won't get the loyalty too, but that's fine. Loyalty, but that is fine. One thing that is a little sketchy about this play is they're probably going to play Drinker of Blood and then start attacking me. So that means I'm probably just going to have to take it, because I can't afford that health trade. So I'll go down to 3. I'll go down to 1 because of that Muse. Can't do anything about that Muse, unfortunately. So I probably lose this game, but we'll see. If they just play Drinker of Blood and start attacking me, then I'm in a bad spot. Alright, well, we are going to draw 2 right away, just in case I get something that changes. If I got I could get a Wolf's Bite or a Fumble or a Second Wind or something like that. But basically what's going to happen is, if I accept these attacks, basically Escopeta is probably going to attack with everything. So I might as well just make my draw 2 right away, since their gold's down. I don't expect them to do anything that would change my decision to play the draw 2. So I'm just going to play the draw 2 right away in case I draw something in my other 2 that is really relevant for the situation. Alright. We are going to take this. So Drinker of Blood says whenever another champion is broken, if this card is in play, you gain 2 health and each opponent loses 2 health. So if I played this, if I block one of the zombies with my zombie, 2 champions break, and then I lose 4 health, and Escopeta gains 4 health. So I just have to take all of these attacks. I can't block any of them. So I'm guessing that Escopeta has like a Fireball, maybe. That's the only reason why I would attack with Muse over this zombie token. Oh, okay, maybe not. Guess we'll see. Well, I am going to go ahead and start with a Juggernaut attack, I think. I have to save this Inner Demon for Escopeta's turn, but let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. -2 is 15, -2 is 13. Put them at 7. Can't really afford to take that. I have to make some kind of play, though. Basically, Sea Titan isn't enough to deal with that, which is the main dilemma that I'm having here. And if I don't remove that, if I play this Inner Demon here, then I will be in a bad spot because I won't have an off-turn play. So I need to basically what I need to do is I need to draw a card with White Knight and try and get a good card off the top here, or I could draw 2 with Inner Demon and try and find an answer. I think that if I just try and make some other play, I'm just going to lose, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's pretty risky. Alright, I didn't get one. I can get Recycle with White Dragon here. There's pretty much no reason for me not to attack with Juggernaut, so I will. And then I'll play White Dragon to Recycle. I mean, I do lose to an ambush champion here, any ambush champion, but then I would I'd be in a pretty bad spot because I have to deal damage anyway to kill them. So, alright, they're gonna lying in wait that. I will go ahead and play this White Dragon here, and I'll recycle away probably Flame, Spike, and in case I get Unquenchable Thirst, I'll leave the Apocalypse. Just a Courageous Soul. Alright, I'm pretty sure I lose here, but I can play it out just in case I don't. Like, the only way I don't lose is if I draw 2 with Inner Demon and I get Hasty Retreat off the top when Drinker of Blood attacks. So Drinker of Blood has to attack pretty much first. I mean, or second. And if one of those 2 things happens, then I could Inner Demon to draw 2. Alright. That's fine. Doesn't actually change my chances. Well, I can't take 5, so I have to draw 2. I think I just automatically lose in this scenario. We'll see. Yep. Yeah, so I either take 5 or I block, and then I take 5. I mean, I can declare this block, but I'm just going to die from the Drinker Blood damage. Yeah, I tried to get the Knight Loyalty, but I think that was the out that I was trying to go for. I could draw 2 with Inner Demon. That didn't seem like a very good. That didn't seem like a winning line. I could have played Inner Demon to get rid of that Drinker of Blood on my turn, but yeah, it didn't seem like not being able to use my gold off turn with all of these attackers at me at 3 health would have been a winning line either. So I was just trying to figure out what the best way to try and win was. All right, so we got a Lurking Giant. I believe that in Random 30 Arena, when you start your run, the deck you have is the deck that you play until your run ends. So you just get to keep playing with whatever deck you get. And of course you can, yeah, I mean, that's it really. That's all I was going to say. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can play this Ragnarok deck some more. This is the deck that I am currently excited about. Let's take a look at it here. Oh wait, it's not this one. I keep clicking on this because it's the right colors, but it was actually an earlier deck that I made. Alright, Wild Ragnarok. I think we made a couple of changes that were questionable, but I'm going to try them out. I remember putting Mighty Blow in this deck and then thinking back later, why did I put Mighty Blow in the deck? But we're going to play it. We're going to play it out. I think what this deck needs is probably more card draw. I'm not sure what the best way to achieve that is. Like, this Frantic Digging is actually... Maybe this is the deck that runs Citadel Raven. I could swap out Frost Giant for Citadel Raven. But I want to try out the changes I already made first. And then if, based on how I'm feeling, there's a good chance I'm going to try making this a Citadel Raven deck. Since it actually is a very aggressive deck that plays Army of the Apocalypse and also has some nice events that it wants to recur a lot, like Army of the Apocalypse, Drain Essence, our board clears, Final Task. Even Surprise Attack is just a good card to get back. It just draws you a card. So we can try this out. I think that might be a good idea. It might help us with our card advantage issue. The problem with Citadel Raven is you want a deck that, like, usually if you're heavy into Sage, then you don't have too much problem drawing more cards. And this champion is a Punisher, except that it's also very small. But it does work well if you're already playing cards like Rage and Lash, because you can just rage your champion out of range of the whatever's blocking it. So maybe it'll get some value. Yeah. What would that deck look like? I think that deck would be... Yeah, we put in Corpse Monger last time as well. Corpse Monger and Drain Essences. I remember we played against an aggressive deck, and I was thinking I don't really have any ways to gain health in this deck at all. It's always nice to have... I mean, I had maybe some number of Heinous Feasts, but it's always nice to have a little bit of recovery if your deck isn't... I ended up not really playing this deck as aggressively as I thought I was going to. I swapped out the Pyrosaurs for Drakas because I feel like the Airborne is really relevant, and the fact that it's 9. You don't do damage right away, but I think that this deck is not, it's really not as aggressive as I had originally envisioned it being, so it's more of a Punisher deck, actually. We're just trying to punish them really hard. It's similar to that, it's a different style of that other deck, the one with Temporal Enforcer and Veldin, the Sage Beatdown deck, because what that deck did is it played a lot of off-turn champions that your opponent really wanted to get rid of. They didn't want those to stick around. I'm getting more into this idea of Citadel Raven. I've always wanted to play a good Citadel Raven deck. Problem is they're always so grindy. They don't get to this point. They don't just end the game. It's not like a card that ends the game right away. It just keeps giving you more advantage. It does work very well with Frantic Digging. Maybe I will try it. It's actually pretty exciting. I could go back up to 3 of these Citadel Ravens. Go down to something like 2 Final Tasks. Hard part is going to be making cuts. I want to play everything. I might just cut the Brachiosaurus, which are... They are good, but they're not necessarily good in this deck. I think it's just hard because we run out of card advantage so quickly. This card just doesn't do as much as I'd like it to do. And this deck ended up being a lot slower with cards like Cave Troll and Wolfsbite and Raging T-Rex. Yeah, I think I'm liking this idea even more now. I will try that afterwards. Citadel Raven deck. Let me see if I can just, in the meantime, see if we can open up another deck slot here. I'm just going to clear this one. Here we go. Oh. Alright, that works. Alright, we're going to call this one even though it was originally Ragnarok, which I thought was also a very good name. I'm just going to follow my original idea and cut the Brachiosauruses. And I still want to play Cave Troll, and I probably still want to play Wolfsbite. So I'm just going to cut Lash. And I have to cut one other wild card. That'll probably be Mighty Blow. We'll see how this card performs, because I'm still queued up with that other deck. And I have to cut one other... Oh wait, did I cut too many? For some reason, I thought I just got the one Lash. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What? Maybe I just got a lot of... Oh. There should be more wild zeros in this deck. That's a problem. Alright, we're going to go ahead and you don't have to actually play the max number of zeros, but I always do. That was a mistake. Alright, let's just go ahead and probably go up on one rage. And then also up on one other wild zero cost card. So that'll probably be just like one fire shaman or something. Oh. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go over to wild zeros here. Could be a feeding frenzy maybe. That would also be fine. I like the one lash, but two lash might even be better than that. I'm not convinced. Not convinced. We're gonna go ahead and play one feeding frenzy. Remove the. I'm just gonna leave the cube then because I didn't realize this. Probably just gonna remove. I'm just gonna cut the Brachiosaurus and play Great Horn Lizard instead. We just have a hard time immediately hitting that other one wild card and also keeping enough wild cards for loyalty. That arm just fell. Alright, let's go ahead and start it back up. Run it back. I was just running this deck without the maximum number of zeros, and I was really confused. When I was making the edits, I was thinking, wow, how am I missing so many zeros? Alright. Just fired that back up. And that does explain a lot. Alright, back in the queue. Go back to the deck builder. Alright. Oh, here we are. We're up against Lamarca, I think. Who wants going first? We were given plenty of time to resolve our deck. Kind of tempted to keep this frantic digging. Just because it does really work well with Army of the Apocalypse. But it's also more of a late game thing. It won't be useful for a couple of turns. But it really is very cute in this deck. Let's try it out. I haven't played an Army of the Apocalypse deck in a while. Such anger. So yeah, I'm so angry. See this rage? That's right. That's me right now. Alright. They're going first. We're probably going to use Final Task to draw two here. See if I can find just some more wild cards to get that loyalty going. Like, arguably, I could even Heinous Feast to draw two, since Final Task has a higher chance of being useful in the early game. Like, it probably will be more useful at this point, because I'm going to Raging T-Rex, draw two cards, and then discard Smash and Burn to maximum hand size. And then I can Final Task the Raging T-Rex. Throwing mics. Just smack that mic right out of here. Get out of here. Alright. I'm going to draw two. Raging T-Rex is always, it's one of the best, as I call it, establishing plays. So it's like this. You play Raging T-Rex. You get to draw two cards, but you also get a threat. And this isn't just a demon token. A demon token is a threat. It's a weak threat, but it is a threat. It's basically, they can't just take 4 damage every turn. That would kill them in, 8 turns, I guess, but if they take 2 hits from it, that's a Flame Strike. Alright, we're going to go ahead and just toss our Smash. Well, I want to have loyalty for Strafing Dragon now. Might just play this Corpse Monger and banish that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because I'm almost definitely going to want to play a Strafing Dragon and reveal both and deal 5 damage to them. So I'm just going to play this. I think it's the worst card in my hand. I probably would discard it if I had to discard something. Maybe I would discard the Heinous Feast. But like I said earlier, when you only have one champion out, the second one it's not a waste to get more on the board. So when you start really having something like 3 champions that are each individually, your opponent wants to get rid of them, where they'll get a lot of value out of a board clear. So you don't want to give them any more value by playing things when you can play other cards. Alright, so here that's going to get rid of our Corpsemonger. We know they have Pyrosaur and Strafing Dragon in hand. Now this is a mistake. You see they have played Draka and revealed loyalty for it, and then attack with this. Let's say I had Drain Essence right now. I could Drain Essence that, and then they wouldn't get to take out my Corpsemonger for free. I'm actually somewhat tempted to try and finish this off, but I don't have a good way to do it in my hand. So I am probably just going to have to take the damage here, unfortunately. Yeah. But if I had Drain Essence, then I would get to save my Corpsemonger, which would be great. But alas. And I'm going to go ahead and... what do I have there? Might just want to trade with this. I think so. I'm just going to trade with it. This way, I'm just setting myself up for Army of the Apocalypse in a bit. This trade will happen. I have this Heinous Feast here, and then I can Heinous Feast Army of the Apocalypse to just dump all my champions into play. Right now, I'm getting Strafing Dragon and Corpsemonger, which is pretty good value. If I can get one more champion in there, if I can just draw one, I can Frantic Digging it, and then I'll be able to get 3 with the Army of the Apocalypse. I can do something like Heinous Feast, Frantic Digging, discard the champion, or cycle away both the Heinous Feasts to draw a card, and then Army of the Apocalypse back the champion plus both of these. Or if they just remove this Raging T-Rex when I attack with it, that would also be nice. As long as they don't Amnesia me. I mean, they might try and trade with Strafing Dragon here as well, because they just revealed a Strafing Dragon. I'm not being as aggressive as they are. I mean, honestly, if they remove this, I might just be tempted to Final Task it, draw 2 cards, and hit them for 12. I think that's also a very good play. Ice Drake. Yeah, so Ice Drake doesn't really work at stopping something if it's already attacking. You have to use it before the attack happens. So they can never Ice Drake your first attack champion that you attack with if you just declare an attack with it before passing. It is a very good card against players that like to play pretty passively, where they play something and then they pass without making their attacks. Raging T-Rex, you can't do that. It has to attack. So you can never Ice Drake Raging T-Rex unless they attack something else first. Alright. Alright, that's fine. You're just going to eat it. I think I'll just go for the punish with Draka here. I think that's probably the play. Just deal 9 damage to them. It's no big deal that I'm not getting any extra benefit out of it. I don't need to, or I guess I do need to reveal the loyalty. Alright. I'm going to take this 6, go down to 15, which is a bit low. I'll probably Pyrosaur me and bring me down to 11. And then I can take out the Pyrosaur with Wolf's Bite. And then I can Heinous Feast to gain 3 health and go back up to 14. And I might And I'll probably be able to gain some health off of Army of the Apocalypse because my Corpse Monger will give me another 3 health up to 17. Alright. We're in a good spot here, I'd say. I mean, 21 damage on board, so if the opponent doesn't block any of our attacks, then they lose. They do have force fields in hand, so it's something to keep in mind, but usually if the opponent spends their entire gold just negating your attack, then they're not in a good spot. They need to also be removing things. This card can do this third mode. Alright, they're going to attack us, and we are going to take it. I could do something like Final Task, the Draka, or Final Task my Strafing Dragon, deal 5 to that, or deal 5 to them and just jump, but... Alright, we're going to Gold Dragon. That's a bit risky, I'd say. I will go ahead and Final Task my Strafing Dragon. Reveal both of these to deal damage to them. And then I'm just going to Wolfsbite after damage. But this way, if they have some kind of buff effect, then I don't lose anything because I'm playing my Final Task as a deal 5 to them, basically, and block this attack. The old Quake guy. I know, some of the noises in this game are ridiculous. Alright, they'll gain 6 off of this, which is fine. Alright, and I'll be Wolfspiting that. I'm going to recycle away both of my events here because we have a lot of things to interact with our champions. Alright, we got another Army of the Apocalypse, so that's always nice. Might even just frantic taking away the army so I can find more cards. But in this situation, we definitely want to make an attack first. I'm probably going to be hit with a... I don't think they're going to have another Ice Drake. They could. They've already played 2. But I'm just going to attack with this. I think they're going to Force Field, basically. I guess if I was going to play around Ice Drake, I should attack with Draka. I should have attacked with Draka. Oh well. Alright, it's fine. That'll hit them for 2. Now this is our turn where we are going to Army of the Apocalypse the first time. Go ahead and just dump some things onto the board, basically. So I'll Heinous Feast first to remove everything from their discard pile. And then we're going to Army of the Apocalypse. And that will return both these to play. They have Blitz, so they can just attack. They're not affected by that -10 combat. This is basically just a deal 10 to them because these are both going to hit them. I'll leave this Draka up so it can block that Ice Drake when it attacks. So Army of the Apocalypse gives both players all their champions back, which is why it's really good to pair with a way to banish their entire discard pile. Or even just little chip discard banishment like this Corpse Monger here can do perfectly fine. Now, sometimes decks will really freak out when they are brought down to 8, but my deck doesn't have Flame Strike or really any burn except for, I guess there's 2 Lightning Storms and 3 Strafing Dragons. I'm still not sure about these Lightning Storms, but I'm trying them out in this slot. We have this Draka here, which will prevent any attacks, so probably going to do something like Blue Drag on my Wolf token and pass. Or just draw 2 cards and look for a way to clear the board. Because we have a gigantic board now. That's the best part of our Army of the Apocalypse, is you just get to dump everything into play. Just everything. Lamarca. Wondering how they got to this situation. It's interesting. This must be a dragon deck. It has Gold Dragon, Ice Drake, it's a dragon. Draka, also a dragon. Thunderous is probably in this deck. Give all of your dragons +5 offense, +5 defense. And if I go way up, pretty sure they revealed a blue dragon as well. To go way back to when they played Ice Drake. Yeah, they did. Look at that. Blue dragon. This is a dragon deck. I know it. I wonder if they'll just plop down Thunderous and then attack for it would be 11 if they played Thunderous right now. A neat combo with this deck. So Smash and Burn gives a champion +5 offense and +5 defense, and then you draw 2 cards. However, if it's in your discard pile, when you play a wild 1-cost card, you can banish it to deal 6 damage to a champion. So, something you can do with Smash and Burn is if you can get it into your discard pile without actually playing it. Alright. Interesting. Group attack. That'll be 12. One at a time. Okay. They have 4 to lightning, so if this 6 hits me, then what does that put me at? 7. So I'm dead to. Well, this other card's Blue Dragon, so I know their entire hand. I'm not worried. I guess I might as well spend my gold right now, in case it affects my play. Probably just going to Smash and Burn here to draw 2 cards. I don't need it for anything else. I could Frantic Digging discard Smash and Burn. I guess that's also a good play. Let's just do that. Go ahead and banish these 2, I guess. What I can do is I can surprise attack, put the Crystal Golem into play, then banish the Smash and Burn to deal 6 damage to the Strafing Dragon. Synergy. It's synergy right there. Alright. And then they have, the only thing they can play on my turn is Forked Lightning to deal 5 damage to 2 targets. So I think we should just win from here. Go ahead and just banish one of these to gain some health. Doesn't really matter. This will just be lethal. Good draw to the Crystal Golem as well, but I believe I know their hand perfectly. Alright, game Lamarca. Let's go ahead and make some changes. I want to try this deck with Citadel Raven in it. I don't think Frost Giant is really going to be good in this deck. Don't think it's a Frost Giant kind of deck anyway. Let's go ahead. Let's toss the Frost Giant. I want to go up to 3. I think 3 Citadel Ravens is usually too much, but in any deck that likes them. But I usually try playing more of them when I'm experimenting with a new card, because that way I'll just get more experience with that card, just playing it in general. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and toss up this Rage to 3. It was at 3 before. Go over to Wild here. You already got the Brachiosaurus. I'm wondering if we want Corpsemonger. Corpsemonger actually seemed like it was pretty good that game. It helped stabilize us randomly. But I also think Guild Demon is going to be amazing in this deck. So it's tough. Probably just keep this split like this. I mean, I might go something like down 1 Final Task, up 1 Drain Essence, because Final Task is sometimes not amazing. So I'm just going to put this at 2. And that way we don't have 2 of it in our hand just sitting around. And then I'll just go down to this wild. I'm probably just going to have to cut. Oh, I can just add 1 wild 0 and then we're good. So, what do we want to add to this deck? I mean, it's probably just Feeding Frenzy. I don't know. It needs to be an event. I mean, Lash is also good, so we'll just play Lash. Alright, we're all set. Try this deck out, which is basically just a slight variation of the previous one. I put Citadel Ravens in, and then in place of Frost Giant, went up to 3. On the Fireball had almost that exact sequence. Fire Spirit and a Shaman. You mean in the game that you just played? Oh, it's the Cutter. All right. Let's see. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to toss my Gudgeons. I'm not even sure if I want this in my opening hand. Honestly, I could keep one Gudgeon and toss this. This is just such a good opening play. So I don't have too many of. I basically want this or Raging T-Rex. So I think I'll hold on to a Gudgeon in this instance because I have a decent off-turn play. Alright, you're all set. You have draw 2. Strafing Dragon doesn't really do anything right now, but after the cuts that I made, now exactly half of the deck is wild, which is greedy. Basically, it's not the kind of thing that, it means that inconsistently we'll get 2 wild cards together. 3 wild cards together. It won't always happen. And the Cutter just passed there, which I think is usually correct on their part. I wonder if the Kark avatar means that. Probably not. Ooh, foil Ancient Chant. Nice. I'm already going to guess that this is a Kark deck. That's my guess. I'm just making a guess right now. Considering playing this Cave Troll here, it's weak against a lot of things. I mean, I'll play it, but I'm probably going to get Divine Judgmented here. It's still nice to get out because it forces the Cutter to do something. About my board. This is a sizable enough board that you need to react to it. You can't just recall Ancient Chant or something. Shadow Imp. Okay, some kind of bounce deck, I guess. Well, I'm considering removing it right away with like Strafing Dragon. We'll see what else is in this deck first before I go ahead and make hasty decisions. I don't know what kind of archetype I'm playing against. Don't want to get blown out right now. Even though I do have a Skilled Demon. Wouldn't be too bad for me to just Strafing Dragon. Usually Shadow Imp is something you need to just act preemptively to get rid of. It kind of breaks the normal rules because usually you want to be very passive. But right now the Cutter has another Sage card they want to play. So they're playing Shadow Imp and attacking because they're going to play another Sage card that'll go back to their hand. And I'll just be taking 2 pretty much for the rest of the game. That's fine though. Go ahead and play the Strafing Dragon. I'm just going to deal 5 damage to them, likely. I mean, I could get rid of Memory Spirit. But this way, if they have an off-turn board clearer, they don't get any extra advantage. So I'm just going to shoot them. I'm kind of expecting a zombie apocalypse or something when I attack. So I might as well just shoot them. I do think that also none of my champions, Memory Spirit can't block any of my champions effectively. Gudgeon has unblockable, can't be blocked. Cave Troll is a bad block because it has recall. So these would just trade. And Strafing Dragon is just bigger. So I think what will happen is I will attack with the Gudgeon first, and then Cutter will play something like a Zombie Apocalypse. That's my guess. Now, probably what just happened is the Cutter was really surprised when I just showed Rampaging Worm. Not a very common card. There's only one in this deck, but I do think that it has the opportunity to just do a lot. And I also revealed Lash. Alright, there's Flash Fire. That's interesting. So, Feeding Frenzy? Oh, Force Mage Apprentice, maybe? I'm not really sure what's happening. Okay. Can't block that. It's unblockable. This play would make a lot of sense if Cutter had another Shadow Imp. It's Force Mage Apprentice. Alright. That makes more sense to me. and now banish my discard pile. Alright, this all makes sense. It does cost them, basically, a card is lost here. Alright, I'm going to start my turn. Could lash that Force Mage Apprentice right now. Probably going to wait on it though. We're going to make an attack first. If this blocks, then I'll just pass afterwards. Force Cutter to spend a gold first when I have Rampaging Worm up and Lash up. Alright, that's fine. I'm kind of tempted to just Lash Force Mage Apprentice here. I think I will. Well, then when Ancient Chant draws 2, and then this goes back to hand, and then if I Rampaging Worm and attack and it gets blocked by that, that's actually a pretty good situation though. So I'll go ahead and do it. Alright, sounds good. This is all very nice because what's going to happen right now is this will probably attack for 2 and then play another Sage card, maybe Ancient Chant to draw 2. But I'm not really being threatened health-wise. And because I'm the aggressor, I have more reach, so if it gets down to a situation where we're both low on health, even if I'm behind, then I'll have the advantage. Oh, well, maybe not. This deck has Flame Strikes in it. Alright, well, I'll just go ahead and Drain Essence that right now. Okay, so I'm not dead randomly. I don't think this is Kark. I just assumed it was Kark when Ancient Chant came out, but this is definitely some kind of burn deck. Some kind of burn deck. It just looks like a burn deck that plays slow cards. Like a burn deck designed to be other burn decks, if that makes sense. Usually that's why you play slower cards in your burn deck. Like I'm playing Drain Essence here, which means that'll help me with my matchups against more aggressive decks. Alright, Kong. Alright. It's the only thing I would surprise deck out there. What's really funny is I could my Rampaging Worm is bigger. This is actually a perfect time to play Citadel Raven though, so I might just do that. The only thing is, this is a lot of damage to just take. So I think it's time for Rampaging Worm. I might get blown out by something because Carter knew I had this Rampaging Worm, which means I'm guessing there's a Rage here or something. Or a Brave Squire or Go Wild. One of those. I could Citadel Raven get back Drain Essence here, but Drain Essence doesn't help me deal with this, so I'll just wait on it. 14 is a lot, and killing that Kong for free is also a lot. Yeah, I know, you're definitely right that it's not a Kark deck, that's for sure. Even though the Kark avatar is here. I think the Cutter is the person that sometimes just randomly has Kark in his sometimes he just queues up with it to mess with people. Alright, let's see what we're doing. So no Rage, so I can just block that with Guild Demon, and then if Guild Demon dies, I can Zombie Apocalypse and break everything. Alright, so we're good. And if Cutter had to deal 2 damage or something, then Cutter would just block here and then play the deal 2 damage. So I'm guessing there won't be anything that can remove this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Memory Spirit. Yeah, and then I'll move to blocks. I probably should have gotten rid of Force Mage Apprentice, but just the most dangerous thing to Army of the Apocalypse back is Force Mage Apprentice out of all those options. But I just chose the 1 gold champion since there was only one of it. I'd get rid of it forever. Draw 2 to try and find something that deals 2 damage. Oh, there it is. I'm going to have to Zombie Apocalypse here so I don't take 13. trade all these zombies in. I really want to draw a 0-cost card here. I'm in a great spot if I draw a 0-cost card here. And Cutter does not amnesia me. But I think... Let's see. We'll see. Oh, well. It kind of counts. Not really what I had in mind, but I can make that work. Go ahead and make some attacks here. And then I'll probably Citadel Raven back. Zombie Apocalypse, probably. Guess I could get back Lash. I could Frantic Digging away for Citadel Raven, which is kind of funny. I might actually just do that and see if I can find Army of the Apocalypse, because Army of the Apocalypse would be probably really strong for me right now. Even though Force Mage Apprentice would get back. See if we can find it. I'll Frantic Dig, because I have 2 Frantic Diggings, so I can dig 4. And I get to discard my Citadel Raven. So if I find Army of the Apocalypse, I'll get to reanimate this. Alright, let's get rid of 2 events. Doesn't really matter which 2, so go ahead and get rid of those. Another Frantic Digging. Alright, I can get rid of Frantic Digging and... I don't know if I want to get rid of Frantic Digging and Lash. That seems like not a good idea. Oh well. Get rid of Frantic Digging. Get rid of... It's a tough choice here. Because I want all of these when I Army the Apocalypse. But I also don't really want to get rid of my recall card. I may be interacting with a discard pile too much with this deck. Alright, really probably shouldn't get rid of Flash. I'll just get rid of Strafing Dragon, I think. Maybe Rampage. I guess Rampage and Worm can be chumped easily. Get rid of that. Oh yeah. Heinous Feast is where I want to be. So I'll banish that discard pile with Heinous Feast and then pass, I think. Could Final Task, but there's nothing really to Final Task. Could Final Task something in this deck. I could get Kong, but it's not really worth doing right now. You can have your card, and I'll pass. Now if you Frantic Digging with no cards in hand, then you actually don't discard a card. It just says draw a card, recycle. That is really strong to do in general. All right. I'll probably recall last year if it just passes to me. Oh, interesting. Still trying to burn me out. Yeah, I'm just going to recall Ash. This is a free card, so I can play it out of my hand really easily. I mean, we're playing a very weird deck as well. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Alright, this is what I like to see. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack with Citadel Raven first. And get back Army of the Apocalypse, I think. Sounds good. Could also get back like one of these other 0-cost cards, but I have this Frantic Digging in hand, so I don't really need to. Heinous Feast would also be fine. Nice, there we go. Easy top deck. Just draw right off the top. Don't even draw 2, just right off the top. Alright, all getting banished. That is a-okay. We use this army to draw 2 then. Fortunately, I didn't want to group attack with Guilt. I mean, I thought about it, group attacking with Citadel Raven and Guilt Demon, so I could banish and get an event back before passing priority, but it was off turn board clear or I win in that scenario, so I just went for it. But we do die to something like Flame Strike, or Flame Strike Lessons Learned here. I also no longer have a target for final task, so that card's pretty bad if I get like Strafing Dragoned. That could also just die there. Alright, Sea Titan is A-okay. I'm gonna draw 2 with this Army of the Apocalypse because it doesn't do anything anymore. This may be a weird game. It has been. Alright, I'm just gonna draw 2 with the Gudgeon here and then we'll pass. And then, assuming that a cutter draws 2, I'll probably try and get in with, I guess Wolf tokens can get in for 6 if I lash it, and then Guild Demon is lethal, so I'll just try and go for it if Cutter makes a play here. I'll do something like attack with Wolf, attack with second Wolf. Ooh, surprise attack, okay. Pyrosaur? Okay, well, Ice Drake can't actually expend my champions because it's target player controls, and I have a Gudgeon out. So that's value right there. At this point, we need to save this Guild Demon so that I can actually block that Ice Drake. Because I am too low, really, to do anything else. And Cutter does know about my Lash, so Cutter's probably playing a bit conservatively, thinking that I recalled Lash with another champion in hand. So let's go ahead and just dig. We'll toss one of these armies so I don't have 2 in my hand. And then I can just get rid of both. I'm almost there. I should probably just take this. I mean, I'll go down to 10. I can't really die very easily. I'm untargetable. It would need to be something like Flame Strike. Oh wait, do I die to... Okay, I died to... Nope, not Flame Strike. Okay. Yeah, we're good. You're really hard to kill me. You need to be like a 4, or you need to be at least a 3 card combo. I mean, that's 1 piece. That's 4. That brings me down to 6, and then I die to Lessons Learned. But that is fine. Because what I can do to not die to Lessons Learned, or I guess, yeah, because Fires of Rebellion deals damage to each opposing player. So what I can do here is, before I take the damage, I can just Guild Demon away, Fires of Rebellion. This way I can't get Lessons Learned for lethal. Oh, okay, well I guess it's also Flame Strike. Guess it's Flame Spikes, Flame Strike, Shadow Imp would do it. No? Alright, looking for lethal. Unless they have it, unless Cutter still has it. I think we're okay though. Alright, that doesn't do it. I mean, it might, but I'm pretty sure we're okay. This is what, so I block that with the Wolf token. And I'm going to take 2 from Shadow Imp, which one's at 4. I haven't spent my gold yet. So right now, I'm at a supposed 4. So I need to put at least 5 defense in the way of this. This is 4 right here. If I smash and burn, that's 7. So I could even do something like smash and burn plus Wolf token would be enough to stop it. But then I would take damage from the Shadow Imp. That's not the end of the world. It's probably just smash and burn this, and then well, actually, this is a better play. I'm just going back and forth on this. This is the way better play, because what I can do is I can just guarantee lethal. I can final task this on my turn. So I'll go ahead and play Strafing Dragon, revealing 2 to deal 5 damage to them. And I don't need to activate this. There's no benefit in doing that. And then I'm going to block with Strafing Dragon, Wolf, Wolf. I guess I'll block with Strafing Dragon, Wolf, so that way Strafing Dragon dies for sure. So I go to 5. It's going to be a close one, but I think we have it. I could die. I could get ruined by like a Keeper of Secrets banishing Strafing Dragon, for example. But I think I'm good. Or anything that removes that wolf token would cause me to lose. Like a vanishing. I mean, it'd have to pretty much just be vanishing. Alright. Well, we lose to Fireball here for sure. But yeah, like it's very likely I just should have removed this on the first turn because I think I took 10 damage from it. I'm just always so reluctant to spend my gold first to remove a 0 with a 1-cost card. Yeah, I'm dead to Fireball. Good game, Cutter. Alright. And it looks like I do have this draft here, but I'm probably just going to call it. We'll come back to that later. But good games, everyone. And that was a good game with the Cutter. And I'm going to be heading off. But I'll be back on Monday. The arena is going to be random 30 until next week's Friday. But aside from that, you know, come get your constructor games in because I'm really liking the way this deck looks, and I want to try it out with more tweaks. Not sure yet. I want to play with it some more, but I'm really liking the way this Citadel. I really wanted to find a home for Citadel Raven, and I think this is it. It's got the Frantic Digging, it's got Smash and Burn. I think those are all pieces of the puzzle here. Raging T-Rex, Surprise Attack, Strafing Dragon. Maybe this Greyhorned Lizard and this Lightning Storm need to go. Maybe Draka isn't in the right place. Crystal Golem, I think for sure. Army Apocalypse, Zombie Apocalypse for sure. Probably the Gudgeon as well. We just need that card draw. Oh, and I think that Guild Demon and Corpse Smuggler are also very good. I think we're really onto something here. I want to experiment with that some more and see where it goes. That was a very close game. I actually wasn't expecting to die because I mean, to be fair, I should have maybe thought about it when Cutter just kept attacking me, even though I kept gaining health and blocking. But yeah, I think I went down to 8, but I had Gudgeon out, and then I got hit with it wasn't 8. I was at 10, I think, and I was hit with Flame Spike Gudgeon, Flame Spike me. Those are both recycles. Shadow Imp attack me, so that brings me down from 10 to 6. Then Juggernaut, return Shadow Imp to hand, reveal Shadow Imp Juggernaut to draw a card, and then attack. I double block to take 1 down to 5, and then Shadow Imp attack. And then Fireball, so it's 5 cards in total, but I thought I was safe behind the... Yeah, that was a really great game. Anyway, I'll be heading off, but good games, and have a good weekend, everyone.